How you doing? I'm Jason. I'm creator 725 credit score. If you look above me, we got a whole bunch of words in the paragraph, but right above there we got Sheena. Sheena sent in the question. She actually had 3 questions that she chose from, and I think 3 questions were how to keep her credit card balance at a decent limit. She wanted to know about she went over her credit limit, and she also wants to know about she sent in the payment, but she got a late payment. She sent in 2 payments, I think was a question. And then down below me, we're going to have some terms to finish up on this how to read a credit card statement part 2. So first, Sheena, I want to address your question first and foremost. How to keep your credit at a decent limit? Well, it's really simple. I would pay attention to how much interest they're charging each month. I would try to at least double or triple whatever the interest is, because you don't. I mean, if you only pay the minimum, you're going to pay 2 or 3 times the amount over. It's not worth it. It's not worth buying a $50 pair of shoes and end up paying $150. And you got to think of it like that. So you're using the credit card to get it now because it's on sale, but you still want to be reasonable about it, because you're still going to end up paying full price if you pay it within 3 or 4 months. But if you hurry up and pay it, it's going to be less interest they're going to charge you. And one more thing I didn't mention: most credit card companies, they have like a grace period. So usually your first month you don't pay interest on that new charge. So you take a look at that fine print; it's going to explain that a little bit further. But if, like I said, if they charge you $10 in interest that much, pay at least $30. If they charge you, $5, pay at least about $25 or something like that, so you can hurry up and just get it paid down. That's how you keep that decent limit. Simple as that. As far as answering your question about paying over, going over your credit limit, that's bad. You don't want to go over your credit limit, and if you do, you want to pay under it. You can't pay the minimum payment once you've gone over, because you're still over your credit limit. So they're still going to continue to charge you more money to try to get you under the limit, and you have to pay it. So if you had a $500 limit, it's $580. You're gonna pay them at least, like, I would pay them $120, because I want to get it at least $40 under to be on the secure and safe side. That's what I would do. And as far as you asked the question about sending in 2 payments, you got a late payment. You can't send in 2 payments at one time. They're just gonna think that's just one payment. I don't care if you put in 2 slips at one time. You can do whatever myths anybody tell you. You make once that bill close date closes, it closes. When you're in it, you're in it. So if you pay it during the bill close date, it's not going to post on the next one. Vice versa, if you pay it late and you pay it on the next one, it's not going to go back on the other. So it just starts at that point. So always remember that. Now, some of these key terms that I defined that I kind of wanted to go over with you too was the amount over their credit line. That's if you go over your credit limit. It's pretty simple. It's got a nice little article about that. Your past due. You should never see a past due. If you do, it's because you paid your bill late. It's just, anything else. But it's a little bit more severe with a credit card, because they're going to charge at least $20, $25, sometimes $35. And if you do have a past due, check it out, because I have an example. They could jack your interest rate up. I was late 2 days, and they raised my interest rate up to like 19%. And so I looked at that notes, I was like, wow. So I called a credit card company, and, of course, they reduced it down, because my credit is good enough to do that, and yours should be too. Minimum due amount, that's just the minimum due amount that you have to pay each month. That's pretty pretty easy to understand. It's it's on here, it tells you a little bit about it. Plus, it's just the minimum due that you need to pay. Activity since the last statement, which is pretty key. You only really see that online. You can see it on your billing statement, but it's going to be the activity from last month. You want to see the activity now, so you want to log on the internet in order to do that. That's what I would do. And purchases and advances. This is just going to have a list of all your purchases for last month. That's all that is. A lot of this stuff is really self-explanatory, but I did write different articles and paragraphs about each of them. Finance charges, that's pretty key. That might be something tough. That's going to tell you, that tells you how much interest that you have for the month. So you'll see, okay, your balance is $400. You're looking at a 12% interest rate. That's going to probably be about $6 in finance charges, because that's the interest that you paid for that time. Not quite 6, 12, probably about $5. About like $4 and $5 in interest you have to pay on that. But that's what the finance charge would be. Annual percentage rate, that is the yearly rate. So if it says it's 12%, it actually means 12% for the whole year. So I'll give you an example. If it's $1,000, they're saying, okay, 12% of $1,000 is $120. So they're saying you need to pay us a total of $1,120. But they don't do it on a yearly basis. What they do it on a monthly basis. This is all pre-calculus, algebra in college. Break that down to you. But it's all done on a yearly basis, and you actually see a list where it tells you how much they charge you interest on a daily basis too. So that's kind of key too. But the most important thing to know is just your annual percentage rate and how much they charge your interest that month. If you have any questions that I didn't go over, if your credit card statement shows something different in my key terms, it's really simple. I'm going to answer the question. I'll look it up if I have to. You got two ways to get in contact with me. You can go to youtube.com/725 credit score and submit me a video, or you can email me at unclejason@725creditscore.com. Thank you.